Hey guys, so I saw East of Eden the first time when I was in high school, and I remember I was so impressed by James Dean's acting, and it just left an impression on me. The one thing about the movie when I saw it in high school was that it felt incomplete. So I wanted to record this video a while ago because I rewatched the movie years later just to see if my opinion of the movie would change. And it did change because not only did I rewatch the movie now that I'm in a more, I don't know if you call it adult lens, but just in a different lens, but I did some research on the book, and it turns out they made some omissions. So talk about all of that. The first thing I want to talk about is James Dean's acting. I remember when I first saw the movie, I thought James Dean's acting was so amazing. I thought he was such a great actor. He felt so natural. It felt like he just became the part of the character. But this time, for some reason, after I saw the movie, I just couldn't stand James Dean's acting. And I think part of it was, in high school, I had never taken any acting classes, so I wasn't able to see when an actor was acting versus when an actor's reacting or actually in character. And it seems like, just from my experience now watching James Dean's acting, most of the time he wasn't actually reacting. He just seemed to be acting. He just seemed to be trying to play it instead of actually playing it. And that's what took me out of the portrayal of it. Just, you guys can disagree with me, but I just kept feeling like he was just acting. It just felt unnatural. He wasn't completely 100% the character he was supposed to play. And the next point, something I didn't start noticing until maybe 5 years ago, but when you're in high school and you're in middle school, anyone that's not really old, like a senior, or not your parents' age, seems like a college student or a young adult. So you don't see the nuances in age. But as you get a little older, you start being able to tell when someone's in their 40s, and their 30s, and their 20s. Now, James Dean's supposed to play a very young adult. The thing about him is, I don't know how old he was at the time of filming East of Eden. I assume he actually was the age of the character he was supposed to play. But he just looked much older. It reminds me of all those movies where there's high schools, etc., and you can tell the people playing the high schoolers are all these late 20s, early 30s, out of work actors in Hollywood. So he just seemed to me, even though I'm pretty sure he wasn't, but he seemed to me like a much older person trying to play a younger person. So that took me out of just trying to believe in that character he's playing. And then the big omission is that they took this character out. His name was Li. So there's this character named Li, Chinese American character, and he served as kind of a butler slash servant to James Dean's character, his father. But he was a much deeper character, and it turned out he was educated. He actually went to college in America. So he's very Chinese American, and he's got such a cultural identity clash because he's Americanized, but he still has the Chinese face, and this is 1800s. So people are not that. Sorry, I said 1800s. This is World War I. Sorry. The movie starts, the book, sorry, not the movie. The book starts in the 1800s, but the movie starts in the second half. That's another thing, but I won't talk about that because I think if you did the whole book and made it into a movie, you'd probably make a 5-hour movie. But anyway, so the second half of the book starts around the World War I era, and the character Li, he's learning Hebrew. He's just a very deep philosophical guy, and I think it was actually a good decision that they omitted him completely because he would have stole the show. He just had so much depth in his character. But I think it was also what made the movie feel incomplete the first time I watched it, and it still felt incomplete this time I watched it. It just felt like, besides the personal drama between the brothers and the father's approval, and the younger brother James Dean's character stealing the girl away from the older brother, etc., and of course the making the money, all that stuff, it just felt like there needed to be some other kind of other character, secondary, maybe tertiary conflict. So maybe they could have somehow incorporated the lead character slightly. I don't know how, but so that's basically it, man. Still felt the story, the adaptation on screen felt incomplete. I definitely think they should remake it, go in another direction. I don't think James Dean was so great in it. And so if you remake it, readapt it, I don't think people like me, which might be in the minority, will say, oh my God, the movie was such a classic, man. Why are you ruining it? You can never beat James Dean's acting in that movie. You definitely can. Just my opinion. Find a better actor. So that was my thought after I rewatched East of Eden so many years later. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know if there's any other movies that you want me to watch to give you my opinions on. Thank you so much.